Juniors, it's time to start thinking about making some important decisions about your future. Soon you're going to come to a fork in the road. You have to decide, will you be going to a four-year college or university, starting at a junior college and then transferring, or will you be joining the workforce, maybe going to trade school? Let's talk about the junior college path first. What do all these people have in common? Jim Wright, the former Democratic U.S. Congressman and Speaker of the House. Sam Shepard, a well-known American playwright. George Lucas, Star Wars creator and American graffiti director. Calvin Klein, internationally known fashion designer. Tom Hanks, we all know who he is. Ross Perot, the former presidential candidate. He ran as an independent and he's considered one of the richest men in the world. Gwendolyn Brooks, Eileen Collins, James Sinegal, Maxwell Taylor. I'll tell you what, they're all successful people who started out at a community college. Community college is a great option. Reasons you should consider are, it's a very inexpensive way to start your college career. If you didn't take high school and academics seriously, it's a great way to start over again. If you didn't get into that dream school, the university of your choice, well, here's a second chance. Some of you just aren't ready to leave home yet, and some of you just aren't sure what you want to do or where you want to do it. Two-year college students can receive an associate degree, or they can transfer to a four-year university. Some California community colleges offer campus housing. There are over 123 California community colleges. Many campuses offer honors transfer programs. Palos Verdes High School enjoys a strong relationship with our local community colleges. Representatives from Harbor College and El Camino are often on campus to assist in the enrollment process. Some myths you may come across about community college. Some people think community college is for older students and students who work full-time. That's just not the case. Some people don't know that they can get financial aid if they go to community college. Some people think transferring from a community college to a four-year school is very difficult. Four-year colleges don't accept community college credits. That's just not true. I'll never survive a four-year college after attending a community college. Not true either. Community college students drop out. Well, of course, some do, but many don't. This is a great option to consider for some students. Registration for junior college typically happens in the spring. You'll have to take a placement test in math and English before choosing classes. You should definitely meet with the counselor at the college for guidance on choosing classes. Go to the college visits in the College and Career Center so you can develop a goal of a university you'd like to transfer to after the community college. What about those of you who are considering work or a trade school? You should really look into SoCalRock, Southern California Regional Occupation Center, right here in Torrance. There are multiple classes to take in so many different areas. Art and design, engineering and design, finance and business, health services, public and consumer services, so many more than we are able to list. If this is an option you want to consider, please visit their website or sign up to see Mrs. Morrow in the counseling office. She's here every Tuesday and can help you in this decision. SCROC is a wonderful resource for our students. And while you're in high school, it's free. Once you graduate, it's a very expensive proposition. Most of you will be choosing the four-year college or university route. It's important for all of you, even those of you not choosing this route, to know that any D and F grade on your transcript is considered a subject omission for college entrance. In fact, F grades for high school graduation requirements must be repeated. You cannot pass high school with an F in any class that's required for graduation. If you want these classes to count for college, grades must be a C or better, so those courses need to be retaken. All of your grades will always appear on your transcript, both the D or the F and the new grade once you've retaken the class. All right, let's talk about the steps you'll need to take to apply for college. First, you need to develop your college list. Research, research, research. Use every resource you can. Books, online resources, college visits in the College and Career Center, everything. Make a list of what each college needs to complete their application. Develop some kind of a spreadsheet. You'll want to put on there if the college needs a letter of recommendation, who they need those from, the due dates, what kind of tests they would like sent, for example, SAT, SAT subject test, ACT, when the application is due, how many essays need to be completed, and many other things. Look at the requirements for each school, make a spreadsheet, and develop a list. Work on your college essays this summer. You want to put a lot of time and effort into these essays. Register right now for the SAT, SAT2, and ACT with writing if you haven't done so already. You might want to register for one of these tests in the fall of your senior year as well. Decide which teachers will write you letters of recommendation if you need those letters. Not all schools require letters. That's why it's important to start your research and make a list of what your colleges need. You don't want to be doing extra work if you don't have to. Work on the counselor letter of recommendation questionnaire over the summer. Again, if you need a letter. Not all schools require a letter from the counselor. Pay attention to deadlines. You want to get started on Naviance. You need to know your username and password. Naviance can help you with high school course selection, your resume and activities, searching for the right college, taking an interest inventory and personality profile, and you will definitely be using Naviance for the college application process. Scattergrams are a great way to find out if you're shooting for a college that might be a reach for you, or a dream school, a target school, or a school you're likely to get into. When you're developing your college list, you should be looking for a good balance of reach schools, or we like to call them dream schools as well, a target school where you pretty much fit the profile for that school, and a likely school, a school that you're pretty sure you'll be able to get into based on your data and the school's acceptance rate. Research, research, research. That's the most important thing. We cannot emphasize that enough. You need to really think about what you're looking for in a school, and you need to find the schools that match what you need. Use the Supermatch on Naviance. Supermatch is a great tool. It uses a host of characteristics to match you up with a school that's right for you. You can use college search books and definitely use the plethora of websites that are out there for you. Make sure you're going to the college visits in the College and Career Center. We have over 100 schools every fall come visit our campus at Palos Verdes High School to tell us about their campus. It's a perfect way to gain insight into the school. This summer, when you're on vacation, definitely visit any schools that you might happen upon. Every school has a virtual tour on their website, and if you can't get out there to visit schools, just visit the local schools in our area. If you want to know what it feels like to be on the campus of a large public university, you can visit UCLA. If you want to know what it feels like to be on a small liberal studies campus, visit Loyola Marymount University. Chapman's also within driving distance, another small private university. Make sure you know what your priorities are and your family's priorities. You need to know what's your budget for college. How far away can you go? Look for schools that match your strength and learning style. Are you going to be all right in a lecture hall with 500 students? Or do you need to be in a classroom of 30 students? Location, location, location is very important. What if you don't see the sun for 3 months? What if you can't wear flip-flops in January? These are all important things to think about. Visit as many colleges as you can and be realistic and maintain perspective. Use the scattergram. Use the information on Naviance to figure out if you're really being realistic about your choices. If you're hovering about a 2.5 grade point average, perhaps applying to Harvard University is not the best thing to do. Ask yourself, what do I want from my college experience? I think this is the most important question. What do you want? There's no such thing as a bad school. They're all good schools. A good school is the one that's right for you. Again, make sure you're coming to the college visits in the College and Career Center We have over 100 college admission officers visit PVHS each fall. It's a great way to make connections. For some of the smaller schools, you and perhaps one or two other students may be the only person in the room. Those representatives are going to remember you. Often, the person who's at the visit is the reader of your application. It's a chance to make great connections, and very occasionally, sometimes they'll do an admission interview right then and there. Essays and personal statements are extremely important. The essay should definitely be in your own voice. It shouldn't be coached. You shouldn't have people changing what you want to say or making it their own. It's your own essay. This is your opportunity to display your knowledge of a particular school. Discuss why you're a fit for that school. If there are short answer questions on the application, please don't leave them blank. Again, this is your only opportunity to really tell them who you are. Everything besides the essay is just data. It's your grades, it's your test scores, it's hours that you spent doing a certain thing, but here's your chance to really tell them who you are. Complete all the optional essays, as it's another opportunity to let these people know exactly who you are. And don't try to submit an essay you wrote for class. Don't try to tweak something for something that's so important. This is important. There are a couple of what's called restrictive application plans. One is early decision, and that's actually a binding contract. You're going to sign the contract, your parent's going to sign the contract, and your counselor is going to sign the contract. You are committing to attend that school if you're accepted. And if you're accepted, you are going to remove all other applications from other schools, and you will be attending that school. Restrictive early action. That's a non-binding contract. You apply to a restrictive early action school early. They notify you early, but you are not required to attend that school if you're accepted. When you see the word restrictive, however, you are only allowed to apply to that one school early action, no other early action schools. Then there are a host of non-restrictive application plans. Regular decision, that's just submitting an application by the deadline, and they're going to let you know by a stated period of time. Rolling admission, applications are reviewed as they come in, and decisions are sent to students throughout the admission cycle. Please apply to rolling admission schools early. As they start to admit students and as time goes on and fewer spots are available, sometimes the grade point average, test scores, and everything else for that school tend to go up. Early action. Students apply early action and receive the early decision, just as my earlier example, but in this case it is not restrictive, so you can apply to as many early action schools as you like. Deadlines for college admissions are not flexible. If the deadline's November 30th and you log on and try to apply December 1st, there will be no application there for you. 30th is the deadline. Please check all the deadlines for all the schools you're applying to and stay organized. We suggest you make a chart or some type of Excel document with all the information you're going to need to know. Does this school require a letter? Do they require test scores? Who do they require a letter from? All the pertinent information for the application process. If there are any athletes out there and you plan on playing a Division I or a Division II sport, you need to register at the Eligibility Center. At the end of your junior year, you need to send them a transcript, and it's a great idea to develop an athletic resume. Please make sure you're looking at the 16 core course requirements required for athletes. You can find this information on the Eligibility Center. Here are the upcoming dates for SAT and or subject tests. Subject tests are sometimes called the SAT-2s. Not all schools require subject tests, so again, that's something that you're going to want to research. Most of the schools that require subject tests are highly selective. The University of California stopped requiring subject tests. However, it is recommended at some campuses for certain majors, usually those majoring in science or math. This is another area that you'll want to look into when considering a college. Register for the ACT. Make sure you're taking that test with writing. You can register at act.org, and here are the dates. We suggest you try both the SAT and ACT and plan on sending your best score. Universities and colleges will take either the ACT or the SAT. Letters of recommendation. Some of you will need letters of recommendation. This is another item we recommend you research when researching universities that you are interested in applying to. If you need a teacher letter of recommendation, you'll want to start thinking about which teacher you're going to ask to write this letter. Usually, you ask a teacher from your junior year and preferably an academic teacher. This is what the universities want. They're going to talk about how you were in the classroom. Did you add to discussions? Did you lead discussions? Were you an integral part of the class? Ask a teacher who knows you well and ask a teacher in whose class you participated in. Some universities ask specifically for a certain teacher to write the letter. Again, especially those of you applying in the area of math and science. They will at times ask for a math or science teacher. If you're considering a major in the area of math or science, please start thinking about a math or science teacher that could write a letter for you. Make sure you're always checking for college-specific requirements and give the teachers at least 2 weeks before the due date. Again, stay organized. Organization is key to your success in the admission process. And make sure you're thanking those teachers. They do this on their own time. Counselor letters of recommendation. Again, some of you, not all of you, will need a counselor letter of recommendation. Again, we ask you to check the school's specific requirements so that you're not making additional work for yourself. We are going to write about the overall picture of a student. We have a senior letter of recommendation packet that is required in order to request a letter of recommendation. The first part of that packet, and the longest, is the senior letter of recommendation questionnaire, which is available on Naviance. You can start working on this through the summer. As part of that questionnaire, we're going to ask you to write your own letter of rec. We're going to ask a parent to submit a letter of recommendation. All of this is so we can write an excellent letter of recommendation for you and talk about you from different perspectives. The better you do on this questionnaire, the better our letter is. If you put a lot of time and effort into it, it'll be easy for us to write a great letter. If you don't, and you don't give us a lot of information, it's very difficult to write a letter. And often, we don't do a great job at telling the schools everything they need to know about you. Please help us help you by doing a good job on the Senior Letter of Recommendation questionnaire. The deadline to ask for these letter of recommendations for teachers and counselors will be determined at the start of your senior year. Please note these deadlines are not flexible. Now is an excellent opportunity to start meeting Ms. Hoffman in the College and Career Center and talking about scholarships. She keeps us updated by email about scholarships. Please make sure your information is correct on Naviance so you too can be notified about upcoming scholarship opportunities. Just some other important information you may want to think about. Our CEEB code for Palos Verdes High School is 052358. You're going to need this on just about everything. When you enroll for the SAT, when you enroll for the ACT, when you apply to college, that's the code you're going to need to put down for our school. If you're a member of either NHS or CSF, make sure you maintain those memberships, stay active. That's something you're going to want to put on your application. And establish an appropriate email address and check it. Your name and the email address is good enough. We don't need to know too much more about you by your email address. What's coming up? Well, in late May and early June, we have an annual college essay night. It's a great opportunity for you to come and get hints on things to do and not to do on your college essay. This summer, we'll mail home a grad check for you, letting you know your status towards graduation. Then when we get back in the fall, senior parent night and senior conferences. Yep, you'll be seniors, and we'll be talking to you more about the application process. This summer, continue to work on your college list, get your letter of recommendation questionnaire done, and start working on those applications and essays. Junior Jumpstart is coming soon. It's going to be the morning of March 12th. Your friends that are sophomores will be taking the California High School exit exam, and those of you juniors will be joining us for one morning so we can help you get started on this whole process. Please make sure to be on time. This is not an optional day, juniors. You are required to be here. Sessions are designed to help students develop a college list, explore options, and learn about the college process. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. We hope you find your Junior Jumpstart Day informative and helpful. Go Sea Kings!